Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. If this is your first video, then hi. In this video, I'm going to talk about November and more specifically NaNoWriMo and how that has gone for me in this NaNoWriMo wrap. You can't say you didn't see this coming. Finally got some inspiration right again. So I figured we would do this on my couch and kind of get a little cozy. I have made some coffee and I figured we would talk about how November has gone for me and more specifically my journey through NaNoWriMo, because it was definitely a journey. If you have watched all of my daily shorts, then you already know that I did win Nano in the end. So yes, I did it. I wrote 50,000 words by the end of November. I definitely left it very last minute. I wrote the last like 2,000 words on the last day. I think it was more like 1,700 words, but who's counting? Throughout November, I was definitely struggling to write. I feel like this year, somehow it just was a lot harder. So in previous years, I was able to achieve 50,000 words. So I knew that I was able to do it. I had faith in myself and I knew that I was gonna get there. I just wasn't sure how I was gonna get there. I did feel like this was the first Nano I was actually very prepared for. In previous Nanos, I just kind of pantsed my way through it and I didn't really have an outline. And this year I actually did have an outline, and I feel like that is probably one of the things that actually saved me. So going into November and going into this NaNoWriMo, I was obviously prepared. Even though I didn't feel prepared, I was prepared in a way because I did outline my book. I didn't necessarily do all the things I wanted to get done in Preptober, which I have outlined in that video, but I feel like I did do quite some prep. Like I mentioned, in previous years, I didn't even have the prep. I just kind of went in. So having the prep definitely helped me this year. But in the end, I think I still very much struggled, and I don't necessarily feel like I was doing so well, I guess. So having the outline definitely helped me along, especially more towards the end of the month, because boy was I struggling. So I started out my NaNoWriMo kind of with a head start because I decided I was gonna do a 10K day. Now the reason I decided to do that early on in November is because I knew that were gonna be some days coming up that I wasn't gonna be able to write a lot of words, and that definitely has been like visible because I had some days where I literally wrote 59 words because I just didn't have time to write. I was at the office all day. And then I also had like a team building event after work, which meant I was really home, like I was home late, and I didn't want to do like writing at 11 in the evening and then still having to wake up early and do all of my day job stuff the next day. So that was definitely a bit of a struggle. So I knew that that was coming up. So I figured I would do a 10K day at the start of that month so that I felt like I was ahead and I didn't have to worry about actually doing the word count every single day. That definitely bit me in the butt later on. I feel like being ahead was really good at the start, especially for those days where I couldn't really write a lot. Like I would write a little bit literally on my phone. I would text it to myself because I didn't have time to actually sit down with my laptop and actually start writing. But it also meant that I knew I didn't have to get the actual word count in because I was ahead. So it was fine if I didn't reach the 1,667 words that day. Like I could just do 1,000, which, you know, it's fine. I will still making progress. I just wasn't hitting the daily target, but that was okay because I was ahead. That's what I kept telling myself. But at some point, your head start is obviously gonna fade, and that happened to me quite fast. And then I just kind of started falling behind instead of being ahead, and that falling behind just made me feel worse, and I felt like I had so many things to do that I wasn't able to actually do all the words. Now, with me averaging out around 1,000 words per 30 minutes, usually a little bit more if I actually am in the zone, I do tend to write fast. So in theory, I only really had to do 2 sprints and I would be ahead of my daily goal, because I usually do like 30-minute sprints, or like 25, 30, depending on my preference that time. But it wasn't happening. I feel like for me, sitting down and actually doing the writing was a little bit of a struggle because I hadn't done it in so long. I feel like I haven't drafted in a year, and doing NaNoWriMo with a project I was familiar with and I outlined and I was trying to rewrite was really good, but because I was trying to rewrite it from different points of view, it was difficult to kind of find that character's voice. So at some point I just let go of that. I just ignored the fact that these were different characters. Even though I did write it out of their perspectives, I just kind of was like, oh well, I'll fix the character voice later if they're not all being distinct themselves and they kind of like flow into each other. I'm gonna just let it slip for now, because this is just gonna be me trying to hit the 50K and not trying to be perfect, because I can't do that. So I let go of that notion very quickly. But because I hadn't actually written in so long, it felt really good to write, and I was excited and I was really happy to actually be drafting something because I hadn't in so long. But at the same time, I think the whole routine of sitting down and writing was just not built into my system anymore. I'd kind of been slacking on doing writer related stuff just because I wasn't feeling like it with the other book that I'm working on, which we'll probably get to at some point. So basically, I feel like I forgot how to actually sit down and write every day. And in general, I am not necessarily someone who always writes every day, but I try to do a little bit every single day when I'm actually working on my books. But yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle to get through all of the words this month. I do feel like having my critique partners helped so much, because we had scheduled critique partner calls, and I usually have them one-on-one, so I have 2 critique partners that I sit down with on a regular basis, and we do working sprints whenever we are chatting. Like, we chat for a little bit and then we do some working sprints, and that definitely helped me so much with my writing, because it usually meant I was gonna do at least 2 30-minute sprints, and usually more than that, so I could hit more than my daily target, which was really good, especially once I started falling behind. So in my week 4 vlog, you can even see that I was like trying to calculate how many hours I would have to spend writing, and I was like, oh, in theory I could do it just in one day if I did like a 15K day. Yeah, I mean, that obviously didn't happen. I knew that if I had to, though, I would have done that. I was thinking about doing it that weekend and I didn't because of other things. I don't even know what I did that weekend, honestly. I feel like I probably just kind of chilled and relaxed because I was so tapped out. I wasn't feeling it. I forgot how draining Nano can be, and also trying to do everything at once was a little bit overwhelming, I would say, because I was doing my day job, I was doing the daily writing, and I was doing daily shorts, which I enjoyed doing, so I'm still doing now for Christmas stuff. And then I was also trying to vlog the whole thing and creating other like sit down content videos. It felt like it was definitely a lot, and I should have planned it better, because I wanted to have my videos prepared for Nano and just only have the vlogs to do, but then I didn't do that in October because I was trying to do Preptober, and that turned out to be a disaster because I didn't do all the things I wanted to do in October, so I just spiraled into November, and there I was trying to do Nano with all these things that I left for myself in October. I feel like I could have done better just because I wasn't as prepared with other life things than I probably should have been. But we made it work. Like at the end of the day, did reach 50K, and I haven't touched my book since. It is currently the 4th of December, so it's been 4 days since I won Nano, and it's been 4 great days where I didn't think about my book. I mean, I've thought about my book, but I've not touched it since. I've not written anything in it since. I just kind of left it and I was like, I'm gonna take a break from writing and just enjoy my life. So that's what I've been doing. I have been doing some YouTube stuff, not a lot, and I've not really been doing any writer related things, and it's been kind of good. It's been good to have kind of a little bit of a break. I basically been trying to just chill, and also I am planning out my bullet journal and what spreads I want to include, and kind of have started sketching that out. And that's kind of just what I've been doing for the past couple of days, and just in general some relaxation, because I definitely felt like I needed that. So that's what we're up to. Looking back on my document, I actually got my laptop here. So if I look at how much I've done this month versus how much is still left to do in this document, I feel like I'm gonna be surprised at how much I still have to do. Let me check. I'm literally trying to make sure that you guys don't see any spoilers. Basically, what I have is I have 75 little chapters, I guess, or sections that I wanted to write. I do have some that I'm probably gonna combine. So if you look at these little green flags, those are chapters that I kind of want to combine. You can also see that the label color is the same, so that means it's from the same character's point of view. So I kind of want to combine the green flags. So that's gonna be a long chapter though, because if I can look at the words, I'm like, that would be a little bit long. So I might split it up to 2 chapters and see if I want to chuck it in somewhere, or if I just kind of want that to be the first 2 chapters of that part of the story. As you can see, some of these chapters still need work. Like this one, the green one, which has like 500 words, I feel like that still needs work. And also this blue one, it even has a yellow flag to tell me you need to work on this. The yellow ones are just short little things that I'm gonna throw in between, so those don't need to be as long. And then you can tell that this is where I start skipping a lot of chapters. I have some chapters that I skipped, and I just moved on to different chapters that I felt like I had inspiration for, so I could keep going and actually get to the 50K. So you can see that I wrote like the last couple things for the story, but not the things in between. So there's definitely a lot of different scenes I still need to write. I kind of check how many things I actually wrote, like how many scenes. 56 out of the 75. It's not terrible. I still need like work though. But overall, I feel like this book is not gonna turn out to be extremely long. At first I was scared that I was gonna have another 100K book, because yes, I have one that is almost 100K, but it's not. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. I feel like some of these chapters do need to be fleshed out a little bit more, so those will be longer. But if I look at what I have left, it's not that bad. Like it's 20 chapters, maybe a little bit less. But I'm actually pretty happy with that progress. Now we have a look at the graph of NaNoWriMo. Okay, if I look at the website for Nano and actually go to the graph and everything, you can see that at the start I was actually doing pretty good. I had my 10K day, then wasn't making a lot of progress. I had some days where I actually did reach a target, and then it kind of flatlined a little bit here until I got back onto the graph, like the line that you're supposed to be on, and then I fell off of that line a little bit towards the end. And this is the farthest I was behind. It was like 5,000 words, I think. And then towards the end I was catching up again, because I was like, I want to win, so I'm gonna push myself. So I wrote 4,000 words on the 27th of November, which was very necessary, and then I knew I had to like get 2,000 words every single day after that to kind of make that work. So that's what I ended up doing. But as you can see, I have days where I literally wrote 300 words because I wasn't feeling it, or I wrote 400 words, 300 words, 59 words, like I told you, I literally 200 words. Like I had days where I wasn't writing a lot, and I had some days where I was doing pretty good. So some days I would write 2,000 words, some days I would write 1,000 words, and in the end I didn't reach my goal, barely. This is kind of what my graph looks like. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but I like graphs and I like the number side of things, so I figured I would show you guys what my graph looks like and how that went up, I guess. So yeah, that is a little bit my NaNoWriMo story, I guess, and how NaNoWriMo has gone for me in November of 2022, and I guess I will continue this story. I know that I really want to, and this is one of the stories that I feel like has potential, but you know, it's hard work to write a book. You can't just do it that fast. I guess in theory you could, but yeah, my first drafts are not that great, so I, you know, can never. Anyway, this book definitely needs more work. It needs to be finished. That's for one. I need to actually finish the draft, and then it definitely needs a lot of editing, I feel, but overall I feel like at least I got a good head start on this book and the rewrite of this book, and I'm excited to continue working on this book. And I know that with the support of my critique partners, I probably will continue doing this book because, you know, what else am I gonna be working on if we do working sprints? Might as well work on my book. I also kind of want to get back into my historical romance that I was working with the book coaches on, but I have taken a break from that for a little bit because I wanted to work on something different, and this is what I've done through Nano. And I thought I was gonna go back to my other book this month in December, but I feel like because of all the things happening with holidays and different events at work, different things that are just in general happening, I don't know if I will have like the headspace to do that, so I might just push that off until the new year. Yeah, it's my endless procrastination. Overall, I feel like NaNoWriMo is like a good way to kind of connect with the community, and might as well try and give yourself a challenge. I like it to do kind of a challenge sometimes. That's why I do 10K days, because it challenges you to keep pushing yourself. And even though I feel like pushing yourself and challenging yourself can sometimes be good, I don't want to kind of force myself too much and kind of push myself over the limit. And I was definitely scared that was gonna happen throughout Nano because I felt not great about the progress that I was making, and I knew that I had to push myself to actually get through it. But it's also kind of the whole idea that you have to, you know, be inspired to write or whatever. I had a lot of moments where I was very not feeling it and I wasn't feeling like writing, but I sat down for 30 minutes and I got a good 1,300 words in. And I've had that happen like a couple times throughout Nano. Or I would just sit down and start writing, and then all of a sudden I'd have done 2 sprints and I was like 2,400 words, you know, along. So I guess that's like just a reminder that sometimes you just gotta start and you just gotta try. And, you know, I have done it a lot of times where I just set myself a 30-minute timer and I just tried my best to get my words in. And sometimes that meant I only got 700 words, which, you know, I shouldn't say only because it's a lot of words, but other times I got 1,300 words in those 30 minutes. It just kind of goes to show that if you start and you just kind of push yourself for that 30 minutes, you just say, okay, 30 minutes is all I'm gonna do today, which I did a lot, you can still achieve what you want to achieve, you know? So yeah, I feel like I should remind myself more of just do it for 30 minutes, or just set yourself a timer and just do this one thing for this amount of time. and I should do that with a lot more things in my life and not just writing. But I do feel like if I'm gonna do Nano next year, which I don't know if I will because I don't know where I'm gonna be at with my books, but if I do Nano next year, I think I want to be more prepared because even though I did do an outline, having other life things more prepared, I think, is what I struggled with. I think what I need is to not have any social events, or at least not weekends that I'm actually away. I feel like I should just not have anything in November so that I can focus on the writing, because when I was at my mom's, I was definitely not writing a lot, and that also helped with flatlining a little bit on my word count. But I did try to write when I was at my mom's, and I think I got, you know, I got decent amount of words in because I forced myself to sit down for 30 minutes. But I do feel like those kind of distractions are not helpful to me if I'm trying to reach a certain specific goal. And also being better prepared with my videos, because I really should have just had my videos already done and not have to worry about it in November like I originally planned to do. So yeah, this is just kind of me telling my future self, hey, remember that time where you tried to do it all in November and you barely survived? Yeah, it's my hot take on Nano and how I did. It was definitely a little bit of a struggle for me. It was still fun to actually win, and you know, I was able to give my winner goodies to one of my critique partners because she wanted to get Scrivener, and I already have Scrivener, so I gave her the discount code. I guess that's it for this video. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my coffee and also actually edit this video because it's supposed to go live tomorrow. I don't know how many times in November I've said, oh yeah, so there's video going live tonight or tomorrow, and I haven't started editing this video. How many times have I actually edited the video on Friday when it was supposed to go up on Friday? I feel like too many times. Anyway, thank you for watching this video and listening to me talk about NaNoWriMo and my experience throughout November. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that your NaNoWriMo was fine, or if you didn't participate in Nano, that you had a good November. And I just kind of wanted to say a quick small reminder to people, if you haven't achieved the 50K in November, you did what you did. You know, however many words you got are more words than you had at the start of the month. So don't beat yourself up over the fact that you didn't reach a 50K. You're still doing great. It's not for everyone, and the amount of words that you got is still an achievement, so you should celebrate that. Alright, I'm quickly gonna log off because my camera is dying. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please consider leaving a like because that helps out my channel, and let me know in the comments what you'll be working on for December. And with that, I will leave you and hope to see you next time. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. If this is your first video, then hello. Welcome to a new video. Hello, welcome to another video. I don't know where I was trying to take this. Why is my battery dying? Just hold on a little bit longer.